Hello and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host Ilene, and on this week's program, our guests from the Writers Alliance of Gainesville discuss their upcoming second annual Sunshine State Book Festival, bringing writers and readers together virtually to share the love of reading in our community. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Carol Velasquez Richardson, Chair of the Planning Committee for the Sunshine State Book Festival, hosted by Writers Alliance of Gainesville. And Carol, once again, it's wonderful to have you here as a guest.
It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Certainly, I appreciate our longtime friendship and other shows you've been a part of.
Yes.
And now this with Writers Alliance of Gainesville and the upcoming second annual Sunshine State Book Festival. Pretty awesome what's going on.
It is amazing. A wonderful, wonderful event that is scheduled for January 30th.
Right, and you know, we did a show on the first annual last year, and it was well attended at Santa Fe College. You had 75 authors, 2,000 people in attendance. You could have just rested on your laurels. You could have said, we're in the middle of COVID pandemic, but instead, you've all come up with the plan to go virtual, and I have to congratulate you because
Yes.
I've been to 2 Zoom meetings with you,
Yes.
and this is no easy thing.
It isn't.
And before we start on that, just tell us, who are the Writers Alliance of
Yes,
Gainesville?
thank you. Well, the Writers Alliance of Gainesville is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, been in business for over 10 years. It's made up of writers from the area, from Gainesville, and some of the smaller municipalities. They started the Writers Alliance with the goal of supporting the literary community of Gainesville. As you know, being on different boards like Dance Alive and the Hippodrome, there's so many performing arts organizations in Gainesville. But there's a segment that is so rich and so culturally diverse, but wasn't really getting the support that it needed. Hence the founding of the Writers Alliance of Gainesville. So I am truly honored to be their chair this year because I do believe in the importance of supporting all the arts in Alachua County. They have some of the most magnificent writers that you would ever be able to get as close to, which I think is so fantastic. So the festival highlights not only those local authors, but people from around the country.
Right, which is a good part of going virtual.
Exactly.
I mean, there is something, there is the advantages.
And virtual is going to be with us for a little while.
I think so.
That. It's not going away.
It's not going away.
And the Writers Alliance was smart. They decided, like you said, they could have rested on their laurels, but if the mission is to continue the preservation of literature, and
the appreciation and the reading
of reading, then why stop?
I agree.
Quickly the team got together and developed a virtual book festival, which is fantastic.
And this is what's even greater. Instead of one weekend, you start January 30th and you go all the way through June 30th.
That's right.
People can just be visiting these 100 authors and their video presentations and browsing their books, over and over again. It'll take you a while to get to 100 authors.
It will definitely take you a while. And I'll tell you, with the moving to virtual, everything's moving fast and everybody's doing it. So by having this festival fixed for 6 months, basically 6 months, gives you an opportunity to listen to our speakers, to actually go to the individual authors. You'll be able to access them through their names, or you can access through them for the genre, which is really exciting.
And you have about 18 genres and a children's area.
Yes.
Which I think is wonderful, with even downloadable activities, and it's separated by ages and age appropriate.
Correct.
I'm just impressed. And your 5 featured presenters are just really exceptional.
They are exceptional, and for them to dedicate the time that they are to the festival is an honor. We have the Pulitzer Prize winning author Jack Davis. We have someone that I just recently listened to her on Urban Radio, which is on Sirius XM. We have Kimberly Jones, who's talking about some of the relevant topics that's happening in our country. We have our local poet laureate, E. Stanley Richardson. We have Dr. Tom Wiggins, Laurel Lee Smith, who's a novelist. I mean, fantastic.
Yes.
Very different,
Yes.
very diverse. We have men, women, African Americans. We have Hispanics. Everyone you can think of is covered in this book festival.
And I think that is a very important part to emphasize, because you are representing an entire community and allowing us, the recipients of this book festival, to enjoy the talent of all the writers, the Writers Alliance of Gainesville and beyond. And I thank you for that.
Thank
we
you.
all look forward to it,
Well,
Carol.
I absolutely feel honored to be a part of this wonderful organization. The Writers Alliance of Gainesville also have pods where if you're an aspiring writer and you want the opportunity to have some of your work looked at, they take the time to really kind of coach you and mentor you. I know that they're also trying to reach out to more children to help the
to help
youth
them
in the
move
writing
them.
and the creative writing,
Right.
which is going to be represented in this festival as well, with so much dedication to the youth. Yeah.
So very important. We
Absolutely.
appreciate you and everyone
Thank you.
planning the event.
Thank you. So January 30th.
Yes. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're talking about the Sunshine State Book Festival, and I'm pleased to introduce my guest, Pat Karen, immediate past president, Writers Alliance of Gainesville. And Pat, it's great to have you join us and to talk more about this upcoming book festival, and of which you are one of the 100 authors who are involved, and you're on the planning committee. And obviously, since you were president, you were very involved in WAG.
Oh, yes.
And so tell us a little, you've been a member, I think, since 2013. Tell us a little about what it means to be a part of this group of writers.
It means everything to me as a writer, to get feedback and to get help with my writing, to learn how to go about publishing and marketing
Right.
the books. And getting inspiration from other people. I belong to a pod,
Right.
which is a small group of writers. We critique each other's writing, and they have taught me so much and helped me improve my writing so much, and I just can't say enough for it.
Well, I can tell that you are someone who is very dedicated to your craft. So what inspires you? What makes you want to write?
I have stories inside me that have to come out. I've loved stories all my life. I've been a reader all my life. And
Good
I've
thing.
dabbled in writing all my life. Once when I retired and had more time
Right,
to
to
devote
devote.
to it, that's when I got serious and got down to business.
Well, now you've, under your name, Marie R. Rogers, you've been writing short stories and this novel in particular, Trials by Fire, which you were explaining is aimed at young adults
Young adults,
and something to be very proud of. This book won the 2020 Royal Palm Literacy Award, and I compliment you on that.
Thank you.
And what now, as you're thinking about the video and the interaction that's going to be from January 30th through June 30th, what are some of the things you hope to benefit from reaching out to all these people that are coming to the virtual festival?
Well, there are about 100 of us writers featured, and people will be able to click on our videos and watch the videos, and then they'll also be directed to the Amazon page or wherever the books are sold.
Right.
And they can learn
Kind
more
of
about
browse
the book.
in. Right.
Read parts of the book, actually.
And besides books, I read one of your short stories on your website about the solar eclipse, which I was sorry now I missed. But you made me feel I was there. It was a wonderful moment that you shared. So I feel that's part of maybe your motivation, the desire to share all these thoughts and feelings.
It is. It truly is. And my weblog, my blog, that's where I have all these little, usually not more than 1,000 words, little stories,
These little stories.
experiences
Yes,
of
yes.
things I've gone through.
But that's what's so wonderful about reading and sharing and just, helping us grow as a community. Sometimes the writers of the community are not as well recognized as dancers and artists and, vocalists. And is so Writers Alliance of Gainesville has brought that forward for all of us. And do you have a lot of stories inside you now?
Oh,
Is there
yes.
another book coming?
Yes, I've got a sequel to this, which is almost ready to be published.
Great.
And I also have an adult book. It's a dystopian novel, which is ready to go.
Ah, so you have a lot of things just at the jumping off point. That's a good
Yes.
thing. Yes, you've put your time during COVID here to good use,
Yes, yes,
doing what you love best, writing.
that's right.
And I thank you for all the hard work and for being part of the upcoming book festival. And I look forward to reading this book and others. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're talking about the Sunshine State Book Festival, and I'm pleased to introduce author Karen Porter. And Karen, delighted to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Certainly. I know you're a longtime member of WAG and very involved in this upcoming virtual book festival. And I can see that you are a wonderful writer with a concentration on children. You have some of your books right here. But how did that get started for us?
Well, I was a teacher for 25 years, and I was a teacher of English as a second language. And I loved drawing pictures for my students and illustrating pictures for them to understand what I was talking about. And also, then I taught upper grades, and I started learning that some of the children had issues with dealing with their feelings. And I decided to start this series because I wanted my children to have books to read, and I was writing them for my students to read in class. And I perfected them over the years, and then once I came to Gainesville, I met this writers group, and I was so excited, and I got into a pod, and I started sharing my stories, and I learned how to publish and write and edit and edit and edit again.
But you are touching on so many things, so many feelings and thoughts and emotions. You call your books here a moditude, which is quite a good word.
Yes, if you look up my emotitude, EMOTATUDE,
Right.
you'll find me. And nobody else. This is my own word. But these are little bitty vibratory beings that live inside of all of us that help us feel.
Yes.
And I made these so that children can understand their feelings in concrete terms.
And be able to express them and know that other kids have the same feelings. So
Yes.
they're not alone.
Exactly. I have a book on grief, one on anger, one on joy, one on love, one on frustration.
Oh.
So many different feelings.
And you have another book which sort of it developed from last year's book festival, Homeschooling in Times of COVID-19. How appropriate, bringing lots of your knowledge together. Explain
That book was a groundbreaking book for me and for many families. Because when COVID happened, I thought to myself, I'm a homeschool evaluator, and I'm a teacher, and I'm a mom. And I know there are parents out there struggling with how to homeschool their children.
Right.
So I put together everything I knew about homeschooling because I homeschooled my daughter for 2 years.
Oh, valuable info.
Oh my goodness. And then I put it together in chapters, and then I thought, I need a science teacher. Mary Barr, who is now a member of WAG.
All coming together.
Yes, and Jennifer Dieringer and Barbara Bachman, they got on Zoom with me and they looked at every single paragraph and formatting and everything. And Dr. Watts, who I met at the Sunshine State Book Festival last year, she is a teacher in Brevard County, and so she helped too. She wrote the section on writing, and we came together.
Yes. And will be useful well beyond one day when we're past COVID, because you're just reaching out to so many people. I feel that's just within you. And it's wonderful because there's a children's section that is in this book festival.
Yes. Oh, and I wanted to mention Pat Ashton. I'm sorry.
As part of that. I understand so many people contributed.
She did the interest inventory for the kids. So, yes, and it's amazing that we all came together this way. And the exciting part about having it all virtual this year is you can go, don't have to sit at my booth all day. I can go to every single author and see what they're doing.
Oh, that is right. It just combines authors and readers and helps us build the community of both.
Yes.
I just see such great opportunity. I'm so glad that you're a part of it, and I value what you and WAG do very much.
Well,
thank
you.
you. Appreciate you. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're talking about the upcoming virtual book festival, and I'm pleased to introduce author Jess Elliott and the current WAG president.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. And you've got a lot happening between now and the start of the book festival when it goes live, January 30th. But I can see a lot has been happening since you began writing, Jess, because you're a prolific writer. You have, and these are only some of your books, and they're all so different and fun. And just tell us, how did all this begin for you?
I kind of had a midlife crisis about 6 years ago where I had a real sit me down and think and thought, okay, I didn't sign on to be a secretary my whole life. And what did I really want to do when I grew up? And it turned out that, I always wanted to write. I excelled at writing from 6th grade on. I kept journals. So I gave myself permission to try it for a year and see what would happen. And I started to write Ghost Light, but then Monkey Mind came along and said they were duking it out between the two of them. I was thinking about Monkey Heart as I was finishing Monkey Mind. And as soon as I finished Ghost Light, I realized I had more stories. And I wanted to publish that one because I love the book cover.
Oh,
so
this is awesome.
Yeah, I painted that back in the 90s. So so 6 years later, I have 5 books. I'm working on the sequel to Monkey Heart. Should be out Christmas 2021. Oh my gosh, that's this year.
But you've got time. You've got time.
I've got time.
I mean, first there's all these readers that are going to be visiting you at the book festival.
I hope so.
Yes, with the video and all the opportunity for interaction. And now, how does the Hound fit in?
I write under the fictional publisher Hedonistic Hound Press, and he's my mascot.
Okay,
I have 2 basset hounds at home, so when I found this, I was like, okay, that's it. That's my...
Yeah, you knew that was your calling. And tell us about this character, Haint Blue.
Haint Blue is quite a bit of me, actually. She's a Buddhist albino. She's younger, prettier, just got it going on a little bit. She's more introverted than I am, but she's running a meditation retreat in Catfish Springs, which is very close to High Springs. So it's a very local book.
Right.
And everything that can possibly goes wrong goes wrong.
Does,
so
yes.
she has to kind of try to find inner peace while
Well,
it's
everything
all,
is cascading around
crazy.
her.
So it's very funny. It's a mystery, but it's mostly a coping book. It's sort of my Valentine to people that are trying to, pretend like everything works all the time, because it doesn't. The cat's always throwing up on the rug. There's always something that just slows you down. Life would be great if we didn't have those impediments, but they're always there.
But it's always going to happen. I know. So the good thing is that you can write about it.
Yes.
And do you feel that the pods and WAG is all a benefit to getting the words out on paper?
Absolutely. Sometimes if you're log jammed, people help you write better. They help you with ideas of what direction it should go in or how to tighten it. It's invaluable to be in a pod. And even just when we can get back to going to meetings, interacting with people and talking about, hey, how did you do that? Like, who do I talk to? It's a very friendly community of people that are just willing to help people. Let's raise each other up. It's not competitive.
Yes. Until I did my first show on WAG, I don't think I realized how many writers lived in our community.
Lots.
And lots. The need to bring them together and to let readers know about them. Mm-hmm. And to appreciate literature.
Right.
And what it means as an art form.
Right. And every person they're writing their own story. So it's not like you're stepping on somebody else's feet or that you're repeating something. We have, I think, 18 genres represented at the Sunshine State Book Festival.
Yes, that's correct.
So,
you're right.
Just an amazing array of material for all ages and interests.
Yes, it's a wonderful event, and we thank you, Writers Alliance of Gainesville, and all of you, Jess, my other guests, for making it possible, for working so hard to making it virtual.
Well, thank you very much for having us and helping us get the word out.
My true pleasure. And I hope you will be ready when the Sunshine State Book Festival goes live January 30th through June 30th. I'm so glad you tuned in. I hope you'll join us next week. Take care.